Thank you, moderator, and greetings to my brother, the mayor of Bonn and president of Italy. And allow me, as we start, to thank the government of Germany for the passion it has for sustainability and climate action. Thank you, German government, for walking the talk. Enter municipality is grateful to be part of the Italy family. And one of the flagship interventions that is responding to climate emergency that we have been implementing with Italy is the Urban Natural Asset African Program. And this we've undertaken for the last 6 years, building climate resilience using nature-based solutions. This initiative has helped us as a town to identify these natural assets and also to know how endangered they are and to continuously audit their relevance to the community and their relevance to the town. We all know that nature-based solutions are imperative to dealing with climate change, especially when localized. So via the asset mapping, we are generating nature-based solutions to some of our challenges, like coming up with a bamboo trail against the practice of encroaching on some of our natural assets, like the wetland we have in our community. Worldwide, natural climate solutions could reduce emissions by about 11.3 billion tons per year by 2030, and thus deliver up to 37% of emissions. And therefore, it is critical that we generate these natural solutions in order to have the reductions that is needed by 2030 and to keep the global temperature at below 2 degrees. Nature-based solutions help combat climate change and provide a better plethora of other auxiliary benefits, such as building resilience and creating jobs and livelihoods, especially for the poor segments of society. So as we look at generating natural-based solutions, it is critical that we touch base and work with the local community, because much as industries pollute and cause a lot of climate action, but then at some of the local level, the ordinary people have to have a clear mindset and buy into any solution that we generate. Solutions like briquette production mitigate issues to do with the reduction of firewood, use of firewood, and use of charcoal. We will only deal with the twin challenges of climate emergency and biodiversity crisis if we share information and good practices between cities, build networks such as Italy and Lovelock, and we cannot afford to make a mistake. Personally, as Entebbe, as the leader, and also as part of the African fraternity of Italy, a lot of benefits have been actualized through this network of Italy, and we are trying to replicate a number of practices, like the mapping idea of mapping natural assets is being replicated in some of the cities in Africa. This is where initiatives such as with these networks, this is where cities, initiatives such as the Global Covenant of Mayors, the Cities with Nature, come in both as initiatives that allow intercity learning and sharing. And Entebbe is proud to be a signatory and a front runner for both these initiatives. There's also an equal initiative of eco-mobility, and these are working on our mindsets in regard to what local action we can take that can cumulatively impact positively on the climate action. So we are part of this, even we are part of the Sustainable Energy Access, and ICLEI is mentoring us in that direction. And we are implementing the resilience path within the cities with the nature journey. So basically, on our side, we are more on the capacity building bit in these initiatives we have with ICLEI, and via this capacity, we are mentored into generating local solutions for some of the challenges that we do have. And indeed, I can confess that concepts like climate change, capacity at the local level within the environmental department has been built by ICLEI, and I think we are generating momentum that will lead to more action, which will generate natural-based solutions that would be localized to have a sustainable world and a sustainable uh, city of Entebbe.
So being part of this ICLEI network is obviously very important for you, as you were mentioning. Just let me ask you as well, is there one goal which you have, which you need to achieve within the next 5 years, where you say, this is our main target or our main goal?
One of our main goals is to go solar, go green in terms of lighting, especially in regard to street lights. We need to reduce on the use of other energy sources and capitalize on the green energy. Another goal we have is to have a waste to wealth program, whereby we shall strive to make sure that all our municipal waste translates into wealth via recycling and via promotion of urban farming, where the manure generated would go into urban farming. These are the two critical goals that we would like to focus on as a city. But also, related to this, we have a critical challenge of failing to mainstream issues of climate change in our budgeting systems. At the national level, virtually all funding for climate action comes from donors. At the local level, our local input is very, very minimal. So we would like to journey into mainstreaming our finances such that climate action becomes part of our budgeting. But before we get there, of course, there is a need to journey with us and to mentor us in regard to identifying potential sources of climate finance. Because all of you are aware that the global finance for Africa is less than 3%. And it is almost impossible to find out how much of this flows to the local government, because most of it stops at the local level. And until we touch base with the cities, that's when radio action that will cause positive change will be really felt. And
So
therefore, I would like,
financing is obviously very important. Otherwise, you can't achieve your goal. You made this very clear. Thank you very much, Vincent.